So here are my next 7 polishes by Wet n Wild. I have 3 of the MegaLast and then 3 of these Wet n Wild. There's like no names to them or anything like that. They came in some holiday collection. But these two colors are so extremely similar. So I will swatch them, but then this one, I know I like the formula of these, but I'll probably just pass this one on to probably my foreign exchange students or something, because I don't need 2 colors that are identical. I mean, they're like completely identical. So let's go ahead and go on to swatching these polishes. So this first polish is this red. There is no name on this, but looking into the bottle, it almost looks like it's more of a sheer formula. These are new to me, so I've never used these Wet n Wild polishes. These ones came in my Christmas swap. So it paints on really nicely. It's not fully opaque, but I'm gonna let this dry and we'll come back and do a second coat and see how it looks after that. Okay, so here we are after 2 coats of this red shade. This is a very pretty red shade, but I think I will actually pass on this probably to my daughter because I have lots of reds. So actually all of these Wet n Wild ones I'll probably just pass on to my daughter. She can have them all, unless she has a dupe for them. But here's this red one with no name. It's really pretty. Okay, so next I have this purple shade. Again, no name on this. It's a very cool tone purple. So here's the first coat of this purple shade. This actually stinks like skunk. So this I'm probably just going to declutter out of my stash. So might as well make this a declutter video at the same time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the smell. It's not pretty. So this one did not stink. This purple one stinks really bad. Yeah, this one doesn't stink, but this one, it smells like skunk. It smells like skunk. So this one's going to be decluttered out of my collection. So here we are after 2 coats. It's a really pretty color, but I'm going to actually see if one of my foreign exchange students wants it or something like that. If they don't, I will... It's going out of my collection no matter what. I just don't like the scent at all. But it is a really pretty color, and I believe I do have some shades like this in my collection. Yeah, this is just going to be passed on. My foreign exchange students will probably want it, and I'll give them this red one too. I got to thinking about it. My daughter has a red polish in her collection, so I don't need to give this one to her because she already has a red in her collection. So I'm probably just going to pass all 4 of these on to my foreign exchange students. So at least I decluttered 4 polishes out of my collection. So that's something, I guess. So here's this aqua color, and my daughter has another one that's identical. I think that these are just dupes for stuff that they already have on the product line. So since my daughter has this one's gonna go, I'm gonna see if my foreign exchange students want this. But yeah, I'll swatch it, but it will go out of my collection. This one, I've never used this before, and I had a hard time opening it up. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Yeah. It's nasty. It's been like that for a long time because this is so dry. I'm gonna try to clean this up because this is really quite nasty. Oh, it's just nails. Still got my bit of stuff on it. Okay, time for the good stuff. Acetone. Okay, it's completely cleaned up now. That was really gross. So this is a super pretty color, but I'm just going to pass it on to my foreign exchange students to see if they want it, especially now that I cleaned up the bottle and stuff. I didn't want to give them something that was not pretty looking, you know, but this will be decluttered out of my stash. So this Swatch My Stash, I'm decluttering 4 out of the 7. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so the last one in this set is this beautiful orchidy purple color. Again, it's a complete dupe to Through the Grapevine. Yes, Through the Grapevine. So I'm going to actually paint this on my thumb, and then I'm going to paint this on my fingers just to see how close they actually are. But I don't need a dupe color, identical color, especially from the same brand. So this is pretty darn opaque in the first coat. So I'm pretty impressed with that. So, but let me paint Through the Grapevine on my thumb. Here it is on my thumb. They're identical. There's no difference in the color, or no difference whatsoever. So these are identical, so I do not need both, especially from the same brand. I'll keep this one because this one does have a name. This one has no name, so this one will get decluttered out. But yeah, it's identical. So here we are in 2 coats of this Wet n Wild purple polish. Again, this will be passed on to my foreign exchange students. They'll enjoy them while they're here. So yeah, this is a really pretty color. I just don't need 2 identical polishes. I cannot talk. So let's move on to Wet n Wild's MegaLast Through the Grapevine. I already have it painted on my thumb, but since I'm keeping this one, we'll do a swatch on this. Alright, so there we are on the first coat of Through the Grapevine, and we'll let this dry and we'll do a second coat. So here we are after 2 coats of Through the Grapevine in this Wet n Wild MegaLast polish. I really love this color, so this is definitely a favorite of mine. So this next Wet n Wild polish is in the color Undercover. Yes, it's in the color Undercover. So this is a beautiful nudie brownie pink shade. So here we are with the first coat of Undercover. Such a pretty shade. Love this. So here we are with 2 coats of Undercover in this Wet n Wild MegaLast. Such a pretty nude. So this next color is the color Wet Cement. This is one that pretty much everybody has, and it's a good brownie nude shade. So here we are after one coat of wet cement, and I'll let this dry and we'll do a second coat. Alright, here we are with 2 coats of wet cement, and this is just a beautiful grayish color, so I'm definitely keeping this one. Okay, so with that said, out of the 7 polishes that I showed you, I am going to declutter these 4 polishes. These ones I'm keeping for sure. These are a complete dupe for each other, so I do not need both. So this one's gonna go, and I'm gonna keep this one just because I have worn this one and it does have a name associated with it. These ones do not have names associated with them. So keeping this one, keeping wet cement of course, and keeping undercover, keeping these 3. These 4 are being decluttered. Okay, so since I had a dupe for this one I looked at my daughter's collection. She has a red. I was just gonna pass this on to her, and so since she has a red, I'm gonna pass this on to my foreign exchange students. Then we have this one. This one bottle was a mess when I opened it up, but looking at my daughter's collection, she has another Wet n Wild polish that is very similar, just a shade, just a touch lighter. So since she loves this one, we're gonna get rid of that one. And then this purple was actually very nice, except it had a skunk smell to it. So this one's being decluttered. So I ended up decluttering 4 out of these. So I'm gonna see if my foreign exchange students want these. If not, I'll find somebody else to give them to. So there we are. Thank you guys for joining me in this Swatch My Stash / declutter, and I will see you in my next week's Swatch My Stash. Bye!